Okay guys, welcome back. So at the tail end of last year, we had some new clubs from Mizuno. We had some new irons in the JPX line. And coming into the new year, we do have some new woods from Mizuno, but we also have some new wedges.
Yeah, some good looking ones here, some the S23s. Really nice,
yeah, a refresh of the S18 wedge, which was one that you and I loved back in probably maybe 4 years ago.
It's been
early days of the channel.
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
so it's been a while since they've redone these.
It has. A little bit more of a cavity back style wedge.
Yep.
It's got some kind of some shaping around the back. It's not your traditional blade, so more of the same with S23. So a couple of key features. We see a very different hosel size now, a much shorter hosel, which again trying to move that mass away from the heel side.
Right.
You see that cavity being used to again relocate mass towards the toe. So. You've heard a lot about this with wedges, guys, the relocation of the centre of gravity in order to stabilise the strike. We don't want the heel to be the centre of gravity, so centre strikes behave like toe strikes and you get deflection and you get kind of little anomalies with ball speed and things like that. You want the centre to be where you expect it to be, and you want to get the reward for the well-struck shot, not a penalty.
So this is really engineered, all of it, to make sure that the dead center is really the centre of gravity.
Correct, exactly it. So I mean, they've got some really good technology and research to pull from now. I mean, I think the T line of wedges, which is the tour line, are tremendous, very traditional in the blade style. Mizuno went away into a totally non-traditional sort of direction with the ES21 wedge.
That was a total kind of departure, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a hollow body wedge. It was very different by design, and again, it was almost like a concept club to see what the Mizuno crowd would, how they would feel about such a departure from the traditional look. I feel like if you took a T line wedge and an ES line wedge and you combine it, you've got an S23.
Totally agree. And it has a little bit of the JPX styling, I would say.
It does, yeah.
So maybe, not that you couldn't play it with an MP style iron, but it would blend quite nice with the JPX.
100%, definitely. So yeah, really impressed with them. They're calling it a sort of tour-ready profile, and it is designed with a little bit more kind of tech in mind, and maybe aimed at the mass market a little bit more than the PGA Tour, but I think the shaping of them is tremendous.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah, the address position looks really good, very nice, rounded. The sole looks quite interesting too.
It does.
Quite a bit of relief back here, and so I'm expecting good things.
Okay, so let's start with some short shots. We've got 3 wedges to test. We've got a 60-degree 10 in the bounce. We've got a 54-10, and we've got a 50-08. So
more
kind
of a full swing
middle of the road in terms of the bounce options that we've got to start off testing, which should be perfect for you. Beauty.
Very spinny one there.
Yeah, you're clipping that nicely just off the lower part of the club, so good amount of spin. I would say, guys, when you've seen us do these wedge tests or even the ball test, we sometimes add a 50-yard shot into the ball test. You'll see anything above 8,000 at 50 yards is high. You're going to get that drop and stop performance. You know, 28 in the launch indicates a below CG strike. So yeah, very good.
Felt better, a little higher in the face.
Yeah.
Really nice there. Felt great.
Are you getting that traditional Mizuno feel from it? They sound very soft.
I think so. They feel nice, like not too soft, but just solid, really solid off the face. That felt really good.
Lovely swing.
Yeah, it's a nice sounding wedge.
Yeah.
Nice feeling.
We'll have some spin on these ones, Matty boy.
Good too.
Yeah, I loved the whole pace of that swing. That was really nice.
Felt nice. Yeah, very similar to, oh, really moving.
Yeah, they move.
It's nice too.
All right, Matty, we have the strong sand wedge. So sand wedge is anywhere really from, I mean, call it sand wedge, your kind of middle wedge, not even really a sand wedge. You can hit, you know, your 60-degree could be your sand wedge for certain players, but 54-10 would be a pretty common one for us nowadays. I think 54, 55 is becoming, as lofts are getting stronger, we're probably seeing a little bit more of that type of wedge being used as the kind of middle wedge of the 3.
I like to do that. I mean, if I were to play this wedge, I'd probably just bend it to 55 and go 50, 55, 60.
Makes sense.
I've done that in the past.
Yeah. Totally. Okay, 115 yards is about what we think this should go.
Okay. Felt really nice.
Yeah, it's going to be right on our number. Maybe just past it, bring us back.
A little spinny.
Yeah.
Good
Excellent. It's got a chance. Oh, you're asking.
Yeah, it's having no trouble. Like the yardage, I don't know, that just feels like I can, and those aren't perfect strikes either. I think it's a good thing to show is that those are a little on the toe.
Yes.
And I had absolutely no problem getting, all of them have been kind of on the toe. So I guess putting that mass behind the toe and not having heel side weight is effective.
And that's why these companies are putting so much of their focus on centralizing the center of gravity and moving it towards that toe side. Long hosels, too much heel mass. The likelihood is you're going to hit a lot of shots where you're kind of a little bit across it.
Yep.
That's the nature of that type of delivery. And yeah, you're not really hitting it behind the mass. So people ultimately are going to start falling short, getting inconsistent spin rates, and you know, leads to sort of poor scoring clubs.
Yeah, no, those have felt like middle strikes. I honestly was surprised to see that I even towed them when I looked up.
That's good. A little rope hook.
They feel really nice.
I mean, it sounds amazing.
It's just such a nice, comfortable feeling wedge. Not overly soft, definitely not clicky, just perfect.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, that's a good one. Solid off the gap wedge too. Nice too. Just like a fraction low in toe and you really don't get punished. Like it's flying the full distance.
Your little draw is kind of consistently there.
Yeah. A little bit out of the toe and it performed great.
Been quite amazing to see, you know, your full swings with the highest lofted club, how considerably lower it is.
It is weird,
isn't it?
Yeah.
I think people don't really realize that goes that way.
Just ball speed,
it's
right?
Ball speed, it's velocity makes the ball go up with not, you know, a big jump in ball speed with a very little change in launch angle basically.
Okay, yeah.
You know, is kind of what it is, but very interesting. You know, a job well done by Mizuno. Not that we would expect anything different from those guys. They, at this point, are kind of hitting home runs for fun, but these are, to be honest, going to sit in a real sweet spot. Ping Glide 4.0 has kind of had, I feel like, a little bit of the run of that market where you could get a scratch golfer playing it, but that transfers all the way up into the mid-teens, maybe even above with the handicap range. Obviously CBX and those types of wedges are maybe aimed a little bit more at the higher handicappers without stretching down to the scratch player.
Agreed.
But these have a really, they're going to cast a wide net over the golfing population.
I agree. And I think from a looks and feel perspective, they may find people's preference goes towards these a little bit more versus some of those wedges you mentioned, just because it has a nice Mizuno type, like a JPX type feel. They've done a good job of kind of bringing that to the wedge.
They're some of the more solid wedges I've heard people hit. That's like a very, very definite in its sound. And I think that's, again, you know, we're learning more, I think, you and I, as we sit in these PK meetings, and sound and how it kind of correlates with vibration and feel and all these things. But, you know, I think they've really got the position, the weight right.
I agree. Yeah, some of those toe strikes performed like middle hits. So what else can you ask for, really? That's
it.
Yeah,
love it, love it, love it. Okay, guys, the S23 wedges. So you'll see them being released probably the latter part of January here. We actually caught some press release stuff dating back to even mid last year. So obviously, as they've been working on this. This has been you know, in the pipeline for Mizuno for quite some time, and thankfully they've got it out there now. They're going to be a welcomed addition to our bags, that's for sure, in the demo matrix here.
I think a lot of customers will head out the door with a set of these.
Definitely. Two finishes. They come in a kind of white brush satin and this copper cobalt.
This is nice.
Yeah, really, really nice. I think a lot of people, I mean, the satin's always the most popular one, but for someone looking for something a little bit different, I think this is going to be really, really nice.
It's like a darker finish without being too dark. It's not like a jet black, but it's enough of a contrast from the irons that it just kind of probably looks good in the bag.
Guys, stay tuned. We'll be down with the Mizuno team in Orlando. We're really excited. We're going to be doing some testing with the new wood line like we talked about at the start of the video. We'll probably talk wedges with Vosh and the boys down there and get their sort of thoughts, but you know, I'm sure they'll be keen to hear what did we think our initial testing. This video may or may not make it out before we see them. I'm having a blank on the schedule, but me too. Either way, it'll be around that time. We'll be chatting about it anyway, so lots to come when we get together with the Mizuno guys, which we always love to do in person down in Orlando. So stay tuned for that, guys. We'll see you again soon.